The market score levels off this week as a few indicators dropped, but a few moved up in the ratings. I'm Tony with Clarkson Santoro, and this is our real estate update for the week of Friday, April 14th. In this series, we update you on the latest trends that are occurring in our real estate market here in San Ramon. Using our more than 50 combined years of experience helping clients buy and sell homes, we explain what those trends mean for you as a homeowner or as someone who is looking for a house that you will love to call home. The current inventory is 24 homes, up from 20 last week. The average asking price of those homes was $2,107,000, which is up from last week's average of $1,997,000. Seven homes asking an average of $1,563,000 went pending this week. That is less pending homes than last week's number of 13, with a lower average asking price from last week's $1,940,000. And a total of 9 homes sold this week with an average sales price of $1,790,000. The total number of sold homes was higher than last week's number of 2 sales, but with a similar average sales price from the $1,792,000 last week. So now that we know how the market performed this past week, we can look at the broader trends that give us insight into the health of the market and help us understand where it might be heading. But before we do that, if you find this information helpful, you should subscribe here on YouTube so you won't miss the next update. You can also share it with a friend so they can be informed on their local market as well. Now, let's look at the market indicators. Inventory is up this week after dropping even lower last week. I think the reason we saw a bump in inventory this week after it had dropped so low the week before is because of the spring break and Easter holiday. I would imagine that a lot of sellers were hesitant to go on the market with spring break happening, fearing that would mean a lot of potential buyers were out of town, so they delayed listing by a week. The inventory score is back down a little to 70 this week. Turnover, despite the increase in inventory, the turnover rate remained well over 100%. The market is still turning over about 180% of a neutral market, so it is still leaning towards sellers' favor. If the inventory remains high after this week's slight surge, the turnover rate will likely falter. But for now, we are keeping it at a healthy seller score of 58. Homes are now selling for more than $50,000 over their asking price on average here in San Ramon. This tells us that there are still a good number of buyers looking for homes and that the low inventory has encouraged small bidding wars again. We are increasing the over-under indicator score to 60 this week. And the 30-day rolling average sales of homes dropped by $70,000 this week. This is a considerable drop that puts a little pressure back on homeowners who are selling to think about how their pricing strategy. However, since the over-under price has continued to increase and the turnover rate remains strong, this price dip doesn't really concern me. What it really points to is that more smaller homes have sold in the past 30 days. And with the small sample size, because of low inventory, it's easy to skew the average sales price into what looks like a large value swing. That being said, we are going to reduce the score this week to 58, but I'm not concerned about it at all. And for the Silicon Valley, the health of the Silicon Valley tech industry, it remains strong. It has been very consistent for the past few weeks. As long as employees of the big tech firms are confident in their sustained employment, they will continue to come to San Ramon and push home values up. We're seeing this indicator score at 47 this week. And finally, interest rates. They didn't fluctuate much this week, and they're still holding in that low 6% range for a 30-year fixed mortgage. They did drop by 5 basis points, but that isn't enough to really move the needle much. The important thing is that if rates are spiking again, then buyers can feel confident that their price range they can afford when they are looking at homes to buy. Interest rates get a score of 39 this week. Overall, the market had a little bit of mixed stats this week, but it looks to be remaining very strong. The big thing to watch for as a buyer are if the inventory starts piling up. That will be great news for you because that should slow down values. On the other side, if you are trying to sell your home, as long as interest rates stay down and keep moving lower with a solid tech industry, your home value should stay strong and keep improving. We are increasing the overall market score to 55 this week. I hope this update helped you understand how our market is affecting your options. Let me know if you have any, in the comments down below, if you have any specific questions about how you can navigate this market to sell or buy a home. And if you find this information helpful, remember to share it with a friend and hit the like button and subscribe so you'll always be up to date on the latest real estate news here in San Ramon. I hope you had a great weekend, and we'll see you next week with a new update.